My beautiful people, you might be wondering, Phil Buff, what's with the new jacket? What happened with the old one? Did you burn it? Well, I have an amazing, scientifically accurate, for some reason, I don't know why, incredibly motivating reason on what happened to my old jacket. I lost it. So anyway, today is something very special. This is the first ever Disneydude Halloween special. Part of a new thingy thing that I would like to call a House of Terror. But it will not just be a House of Terror for Disneydude. It will be House of Terror for Toon Talk as well. And some adventures with everyone else around the house. So, what will I do for the first ever Disneydude Halloween special? The most basic video I could come up with for Halloween. Let's take a look at the top 10 scariest Disney moments. Hungry Donald from Fun and Fancy Free. Due to the golden singing harp getting taken by a giant, the land that our characters live in, I forgot the name, has gone to a complete ruins. To the point where Mickey, Donald, and Goofy have gone to the point where they have to share one single bean and have as few bread as possible to save up. However, Donald, starving for his life, has had it. Now, Donald is known for having a short temper and getting angry a lot. That's part of his personality. But what makes this scene a lot more screwed up than usual is the fact that Donald is willing to murder the cow just so he can eat. Now, I'm not trying to sound like a vegan or anything, but here's the thing. That cow, it pretty much has human emotions in this world, and it's sentient. Plus, in this world, there are humanoid cows. So, I guess it would be kind of like if Mickey ate Pluto in this scenario. Regardless, this scene is just screwed up, man. And you see this lovable character who you thought would never try to kill someone, attempting to murder someone. Pink elephants on parade from Dumbo. So Dumbo and Timothy get drunk and they start seeing a bunch of technicolored elephants doing a bunch of weird crap. And that goes on for about 4 minutes and they blow up. Yeah. This scene has go down in history as one of those WTF Disney moments that nobody really knows how to think of it. Are we supposed to laugh? Are we supposed to be scared? Like, what are we supposed to feel during this moment? And to be frank, I don't really know if this moment belongs on the list, but I would get tons of hate comments if I didn't include it, so I feel like I have to be honest. It definitely is a trippy sequence and a definite WTF moment. But is it really frightening? For me, no. It's more how it's frightening towards other people, on how mainly kids just were confused while watching this as a child and just didn't know why there were so many elephants on screen. But I'll give the sequence this. It does have some fantastic animation, especially towards the end where all the elephants go berserk. Plus, the song itself is actually very catchy, and you might find yourself humming it at any point in time after you see the film. But overall, the pink elephants on parade sequence is a very trippy, surreal sequence that nobody to this day knows how to feel about it. The Headless Horseman from the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Now, this scene, overall, this scene is just creepy in general. The final scene from the second half of the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Ooh, just eerie. Ichabod is just riding on his horse, heading home from the party. He's hearing the tale about the Headless Horseman. Everything's looking all creepy. And then, this! This dude looks freaking creepy, bro. And here's the thing. Ichabod doesn't escape. He freaking dies. Or it's more implied. It's still pretty screwed up for a Disney cartoon. The brave little toaster. Just the brave little toaster. Sure, this may look like an innocent little kid's movie about household appliances trying to find their owner, but in the inside of the film, it's incredibly screwed up from start to finish. From an AC unit just killing itself because it was barely used, to a dream sequence of a freaky looking clown trying to put a fork in the toaster, to a musical number about wrecked cars accepting their fate as they get crushed into pieces at the dump. Christ, this movie is gruesome. It is screwed up. The fact that this was marketed towards very little kids in the 80s is just insane. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. It is an incredibly good movie, but boy, oh crap, is it messed up. Uncovering the Ark of the Covenant from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, the Nazis have taken Indy and the girl, and they're heading into the Ark of the Covenant, and Indy and the girl are tied up, and the Ark gets opened up, and there's a bunch of ghosts and crap. Indy is yelling at the girl to keep her eyes closed, and meanwhile, all the Nazis' faces are getting melted off, and I'm pretty sure they blow up. Dear Lord! This comes out of nowhere. People who are complaining the fact that aliens were in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull probably forgot that ghosts existed in the first movie. So, yeah. The melting of this dude's face is easily what everyone remembers the most from this scene. And it's really screwed up. I know I've been saying that a lot in this video, but I mean, look at this, man. Look at this. Look at this. Technically, this is not made for kids, but it is owned by Disney now, and it does have a PG rating, so I guess it counts. Shut up. Regardless of the fact, this is still a pretty messed up scene. Pleasure Island from Pinocchio. Pinocchio heads off to a place called Pleasure Island, where naughty boys can do all sorts of reckless stuff, like ruin a church or ride a merry-go-round. Oh, the stuff that all naughty children do. I'm looking at you, Michelle. So Pinocchio and Lampwick are just, hanging out, playing pool, drinking some beers, smoking some cigars, what you do. And then all of a sudden, Pinocchio gains some ears and a tail, and Lampwick gets a donkey face, and this freaky crap happens. So all the kids who were turned into donkeys are being sent to places such as salt mines. And the donkeys that can, still talk, we don't know what they do with them. Yeah. And the screwed up part that everyone has been citing for the last 80 years is that the bad guy gets away with it. Yeah, Pinocchio and Jiminy are just like, we better GTFO, and then they just dip. Return to Oz. Oh, so another full movie. Okay. Now, I already talked about this film in a previous video that I made, the top 10 underrated Disney films, so I'm not going to focus on this movie for too long. Well, mainly just the scary stuff. Let's start with the fact that the movie begins with Auntie Em taking Dorothy to a hospital so that she can get shock therapy. Yeah, throughout this movie, they really depict Dorothy as mentally ill. Well, mostly in the beginning. Like, at the end of the first movie, we're believed that, well, Oz was just a dream. No. Dorothy seems mentally ill throughout the beginning of this movie. It's strange. There's also Princess Bombi, who she can wear various people's heads. And that gave birth to this scene. Dorothy girl. There's also the Gnome King, a big old giant rock monster who tries to eat Dorothy and the gang. And of course, there's the Wheelers, which are pretty much just a bunch of scary clowns on wheels. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video on this film, think of it less as a Wizard of Oz sequel and more as its own movie that has some similar elements to the first movie. Like the ruby slippers are in here, for instance. So keep that in mind when you decide to watch this movie for yourself. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's a really good movie, and to be honest, it's probably one of my favorite Disney movies from the 80s. Now, go watch it. It's on Disney Plus, it's on DVD, and watch it with those thoughts in mind. Judge Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, is there any surprise that this guy's on the list? I mean, just look at him. The dude looks creepy. Whenever you see Judge Doom in this movie, there's often this sense of dread and terror in the fact that, oh crap, something's gonna happen. If you want to know what his plan is, for those of you who haven't seen the film, the two people who haven't seen it, basically Judge Doom has a certain hatred for Toons, even though his henchman is a bunch of Toons. And to the point where he created a device to kill Toons called the Dip. And he demonstrates it by killing one of them. And of course, there's the end of the movie where it's revealed that Judge Doom is actually a Toon himself. And he's also the Toon that killed Eddie's brother. And it's freaky.
Remember me, Eddie? When I killed your brother, I talked. Yes!
On top of his uncomfortable voice, he uses a lot of different weapons that would normally be funny when used on a cartoon character, but it proves that it can be incredibly deadly when used on an actual person. Plus, look at them eyes! That's some creepy crap! So, if you're afraid of Judge Doom, it's okay. He was just drawn that way. The opening to Weirdmageddon Part 1 from Gravity Falls. Now, after Mabel accidentally gave the rift to Bill Cipher, Bill unleashes all of his friends into Gravity Falls to start a thing called the Weirdmageddon. The citizens of Gravity Falls take it pretty well.
Now see here, you unholy triangle fella. As mayor, I strongly urge you to get on out of here.
Yeah, things with one eye are weird.
We don't like out-of-towners. We punch what we don't understand.
The Northwest tried to befriend Bill by welcoming him to the apocalypse, but Mr. Northwest gets this.
Wow, that's a great offer. How about instead I shuffle the functions of every hole in your face?
What the freak? I can't believe this aired on the Disney Channel. Oh my god! The same network that gave us Hannah Montana gave us this freaky crap. The only thing is that what could be more frightening? Well... Of course, it's Night on Bald Mountain from Fantasia. I mean, what else could it be? It's literally just Satan and his minions dancing around in hell doing a bunch of freaky crap. Like just a bunch of naked ladies and stuff, and like there's fire and... Dear Lord, it's almost undescribable. It's basically just hell. And wow, it is one of the most un-Disney things that Disney has ever made, to be honest. This is absolutely horrifying. The thought of hell is just completely unimaginable. And the fact that this is the same movie that brought us the famous Sorcerer Mickey, it is horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. And before you go off and say that this guy isn't Satan, it's Chernobog, the movie itself says that this guy is Satan, so bite me. But regardless of the fact that whether this is Satan or not, it's still one horrifying sequence. And the Ave Maria sequence right after it is a perfect yin and yang. But it doesn't beat the fact that Night on Bald Mountain is the #1 scariest Disney moment of all time. Be sure to join me next time, where we'll look at even more frightening tales from the Walt Disney Company. And we just might get to Damien the Omen 2 sometime this month. I don't know. You don't know. We'll just wait and see. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and the House of Terror has just begun.
Ew! That blasted Woody! Ew! I seriously need a break from the craziness! I'm just saying something because my name is literally crazy. Ew! What about a good old walk? Wait a minute. That looks familiar. What? Is that my monster? It's my monster! My monster! Oh, Daddy's here! Oh! It's all because of the Pepsi break. Oh. It looks terrible. Come on, monster! We need some work done! Ew. Monster, I hope you'll never leave! Never, ever! Ew, this is a dream come true! After 3 years! I may not believe in miracles, but this is probably the closest one that I'll ever experience. Monster! My monster! It's my monster!